Well, people, shots fired. Like I said, I would follow up. May 23rd, Saturday, happy Saturday. I have 8:04 in the PM. 8:04, yeah, Barack Obama's birthday is August 4th. Well, anyway, happy Saturday and praise God from whom our blessings flow. You are at the channel that decodes on the spot as it happens. Let's get into it. Shots fired, shots fired. And they have this thing set up where I can tell. I said, I can tell. It's all staged. When I break it down, you'll see from sea to shining sea.
Absolute insanity breaking loose at the White House. There has been a mass shooting, bloodshed, and potentially death on the grounds of the White House. Ladies and gentlemen, this is real, and it really happened seconds after President Trump announced a peace agreement between the Gulf states, America, and Iran, all parties agreeing to the framework for peace. The Strait of Hormuz opening, stock markets are ripping, oil is crashing, even now on a Saturday, a holiday weekend. President Trump working late into the small hours of the morning and through the day to get this done. The world was rejoicing and celebrating when the shots rang out. And because it's the White House, and because it is a massive breaking news environment, you could actually hear the
Now watch, you're gonna see a reporter. She was there and she was covering the story. Well, the story in relation to the war and the peace settlement. And all of a sudden, shots rang out. Check it out. I said, was it an acting job? I teach the 5 C's, the clues, the codes, the colors, the confirmation, time, and conclusion. What she got on? She got on the rock colors. She's got on the rock colors. The orange and the brown. Not the gold, but you know, that's what I'm thinking is going on. Hold tight on that thought. Now check this out.
Outside the White House for the latest information.
Hi, Tommy. So we just got some new information from the White House, according to the press office. They said shortly after 6 p.m., an individual approached the Secret Service checkpoint outside the White House. This is at 17th and Pennsylvania Avenue, so just one block behind me. You can still see that there's a large police presence here. This involves the FBI, Secret Service, and of course DC police. So the White House telling us that there was a preliminary investigation at this point that indicates that an individual approached. He removed a weapon from his bag and he began firing at police officers. Secret Service police officers then returned fire, striking that suspect, who was later transported to a hospital where he later died. During the shooting, a bystander was also struck by gunfire. So the White House press team at this point telling us that it's really unclear if the bystander was struck by the suspect's initial gunfire or during the subsequent exchange of gunfire. So some big breaking news there from the White House. And also one thing that we're learning from the White House, there were no injuries to members of the Secret Service, any of the personnel there. The president, again.
Now you saw the actual reporter there. And I'm going to omit what I showed maybe 30 seconds before that because it was gunshots. I might get in trouble for that. So the reason why this reporter ducked, well, first of all, she was there because she was reporting on the peace deal. The peace deal has been reached to a certain degree. And boom, minutes later, you hear these gunshots. Look at her again.
Fire, striking that suspect, who was later transported to an area hospital where he later died. During the shooting, a bystander was also struck by gunfire. So the White House press team at this point.
So again, when you look at her, what do you see? I believe that is the sun god Ra, the orange, the orange, the orange. We'll come back to that. Now, let's keep going further. We're going to break this thing down little by little.
Yeah, well, Sydney, you can still see the large large police presence right behind me. This is on Pennsylvania Avenue and 18th Street. This area is still blocked off. We have a perimeter line, and this is really as far as we can go. So we have Secret Service right in front of us, MPD, as well as the FBI. They're all coordinating with each other to try to get more information of what happened. But again, the large police presence coming after reports of shots fired outside the White House. We know President Donald Trump was inside the White House at the time that shots were heard. As of right now, limited information. We're still trying to get details confirmed from authorities, but Fox News is reporting an individual fired gunshots at least 3 times outside the White House. The Secret Service apparently returned a fire. Fox News also reporting that another person was hit somewhere between the gunfire exchange, and as mentioned, there's also reports that the bystander as well as the shooter are in critical condition. On social media, FBI Director Kash Patel, he posted that he would update the public as soon as they're able to. But Sydney, we also know that journalists were working there at the time when they heard gunshots. They were told by authorities to seek shelter as the White House was placed on lockdown. Keep in mind, this is all unfolding just a few blocks from the White House, an area where we see tourists, residents walking, especially on Memorial Day weekend. So it's still unclear how many bystanders were in that area.
Now remember, like I've been saying, we got to get ready for this moment. This is what the Bible calls the birth pains. We're having more situations in a short period of time. The goal is to create enough sewage, that is enough dastardly deeds and darkness in a short period of time so that you can become unhitched from any peace that you've gotten all throughout your life, including the peace of Christ. But you need to hold on to his unchanging hand, because he is the peace. America's going through judgment. Part of that judgment is that they are going to play out a role where they are going into a one world system. So they have to create fear. These situations, when I tell you that this is what they're doing, I am telling you. I'm not asking you to think. I'm telling you what they're doing. God has prepared me for this moment to call it out, and I'm going to present it in that fashion. When I think it's legit, I'll let you know. When I think it's got suspicion, I'm going to let you know that as well. This one is super suspicious. In the middle of the peace negotiation, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Now, you saw the car. All the police standing around. Did you see the 44 and the 55 in the license plate? The 144 and the 55? Who's the 44 president? And who's the 55th? And who died at 55 years old? Right? Julius Caesar died at 55 years old. Julius Caesar died at 55 years old. The 44th president is Barack Obama. Let me see if I can get a better shot for you. See, they tell you. They gradually tell you what they're doing. They got to speak. That's the best I can do. I'm sure you can see the 55. Julius Caesar died at 55 years old. That's got to be the modern day Trump. 44, Barack Obama's the 44th president. It's right there on the license plate, okay? Now, you're going to see, unless I miss up, you're going to see another car, 6323X. 6323X. X is the 24th letter of the alphabet. X is the 24th letter of the alphabet. So 24 is X, then 3 is 27, plus 2 is 29, plus 3 more, that's 32, plus 6 more is 38. 38, remember that, 38, that's a date. That's a date. I'm gonna show you how they speak. Now, when I told you that you had the 44 on the license plate and 55, 44 is Barack Obama, the 55 is Trump. When I told you that, you gotta think back when the horses bolted. The horses bolted last year on April 24th of 2024 in Britain. They were spooked, they said. Bolted, 2 horses. 4445. Do you understand? The license plate said 4445. I want you to understand what's coming. They're going to do another fake July 13th, Butler, Pennsylvania. Fight, fight, fight. They're going to do another one. And look, you're seeing more and more of this stuff in a shorter period of time because it's coming. But because the channel isn't a million, you all will be the only ones that really know to just hold your temperament. Analyze it. Because Trump, they're going to fake that something happened. But he's not going to take a nap. It's all a show. Because they need that impact. They need that. Get your attention. Because see, this thing is a gradual, methodical plan. I want you to understand how deep this thing is. They gradually keep showing you. Keep showing you. And now the last 6 months, they're showing you more in a short period of time. So boom, 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 and then when you're dead, that's what it is. That's how they're gonna do it. Mark my word. That's what they're gonna do. You don't want to have this oops upside the head moment. People crying, losing their mind. They're going to be emailing me. It's your fault, Pearson. You predicted it. Stop. Don't give them your energy. They've been lying to us for generations. I was a part of the media. I'm telling you, I know the game. And I got common sense and discernment. God gave me this gift. I know symbolism when I see it and understand what they're forecasting. I know the devil. I know what he's up to. I know his goal. They need America. They can't take you by force. At least not right now. But that will happen during the tribulation period if you don't take that mark. But the goal is we're not going to be here because you want to get right, stay right, get ready for the flight. They can't take America because we got too many weapons. But they can divide us and let us get so bewildered with everything that's going on, and especially this fear, and probably anarchy in the street. Then we give up, we surrender. See, when Trump said unconditional surrender, you got to remember, unconditional surrender was signed off by Japan. Because we dropped 2 bombs on them, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So, I believe it was August 14th, 1945. Don't beat me up if I'm wrong, but I believe it's August 4th. August 14th. An unconditional surrender was made by Japan back in the day. And Trump said he wants that done by Iran today. For them to have an unconditional surrender so they can stop all this fighting. So to make sure they don't have any more weapons, any nuclear weapons or any enrichment, all that. People, let me apologize to you for not saying this revelation, but I believe God just gave me this revelation. Part of unconditional surrender is us. Do you understand the psychology behind it? He's telling us that he wants Iran to have unconditional surrender like Japan. No, they want Americans. They want Americans to comply with the New World Order. I hope you follow me. Now, like I just showed you, you see what she got on? And when the bullets started flying, she ducked naturally. Okay. What he got on? Didn't I break that story last month when they said Giovanni got sick? What did he have on? The sun god rock colors. Come on, man. Come on. Somebody put come on, man, in the chat. Look at it. He don't even dress like that. He usually got on a dark blue suit or a black suit. America's mayor in New York got sick and he got that on. And in the background, you got this here. Look like the lighting is set allegedly because the White House is on fire, like 1824. They've been telling us what they're going to do. And I'm constantly doing videos, so you know. I've been doing videos on it. He got on the sun god Ra colors. Look at the colors he got on. White people don't dress like that. Let me just go there. White folks don't dress like that. Come on, man. White folks don't dress like that. Close enough. There it is. Sun god. That's where they want us to go, to the sun god. Sol Invictus or sun god Ra. Those are his colors. We got to represent. Now, remember I told you, there's the license plate of the cop. Come out to 38. X plus all them numbers come out to 38. Let's listen right quick.
Reports that shots were fired. Now you're looking at the scene here. I want to describe it first. We're not only seeing Secret Service, but also MPD is also out here coordinating with Secret Service. For those of you just tuning in, we do know that multiple shots were fired outside the White House around 6 p.m. We know that several journalists at the White House on Saturday have reported that the press pool has been put on lockdown inside the building. The White House, again, also has been placed on lockdown according to these reports. Now, Fox News reporting an individual fired shots, gunshots at least 3 times outside the White House. That shoot, as I mentioned, fired 3 times towards the White House. The person was then shot by Secret Service. Fox News also reporting a civilian was hit by gunfire. The suspect, as we know, never got inside the perimeter. We do know.
So 2 people shot, right? And like I said, you got the license plate. Now people understand this. When I show you these numbers, like I said, they speak. These numbers speak. Watch her move. Watch her move.
Avenue, where there have been
Boom. There's the license plate. Those of y'all who've been following me, y'all know how they allegedly do. They're next to a car with a license that means something. That come out to 38. 38 is a date. March 8th, 38. If you take March 8th of 2025, go back 1 year. Today is May 23rd, 2026. The difference is 421. What is 421? Bingo! Pope Francis died. I'll take the criticism. Pearson, you went back 1 year. I have to understand their thinking. I got to figure out, it's a maze, it's a puzzle. If they got 100 parts to a puzzle and throw it on the ground, I got to put it together. I got to make it make sense. I'm not justifying anything. I just know how they do. Why would Pope Francis come into light? I keep teaching. The book of Revelation says in the last days, what are they going to have? A false prophet, that is a false leader with a false church, a false monetary system, because you won't be able to buy or sell without the mark, and a false political system, the Antichrist. So I know what I'm looking at, and I know what I'm looking for, because I know what they have to show us. So when I saw the 38, it don't just mean like pistol, boom, boom, boom. I knew it was a date. So I had to figure out, was it the 3/8 for 2025 or the 3/8 for 2026 or 3/8 to 2027? It's the 3/8 for 2025, and it come out to Pope Francis. He died on 4/21. They got a goal. So they're letting you know this is how they speak. It's how they speak. Now, see if I remember the last one. On March 13th of 2013, that's when Pope Francis became a pope. March 13th of 2013. Today is May 23rd of 2026. 13 years ago, Pope Francis became the pope. And what is 214? 214? That's Super Bowl Sunday 2027. That's that arch. That's that arch I've been teaching y'all. What is the arch? Welcome, new subscribers. We teach. What is the arch? They're putting up on July 4th a arch An arch on the White House lawn. They just approved it 4 days ago. An arch. When you go through there, it's like, to me, it's going through a new dimension, a new system. Let me show you guys here. Economist Magazine, December 22nd, 2012. I can show you, but I can tell you. Historically, they created this tier. You see Barack Obama here in a pride boat. See, it say pride boat. That's a canal. He's going to enter through there on a boat because a new system is coming. See the crypto? See America drinking that oil she on her back? See the White House and the Capitol all burnt up? See Hamas shooting at Israel? This magazine was created December 22nd of 2012. But they got a time machine. The Power's got a time machine. They tell you the future. And I just put it together because I've been doing this for 40-some years. He's on a pride boat. He's on a boat. What did Noah build for God? A boat. Why did God have Noah build a boat? Because judgment was coming. God's order could not continue on a sinful planet. So God had Noah build a boat to preserve his order and destroy the old order. Well, the devil's a copycat. He's on a boat going into a new kingdom. You see? An ark, an ark, an arch, not an ark, an arch. They've been telling you for a long time. Nancy Guthrie been missing since February 1st of this year. What happened? The guy who abducted her, he had to come through an archway. They've been telling us. President Trump was at McDonald's, the Golden Arches, doing French fries. Luigi, who allegedly unalived the CEO of United Healthcare in December, a year plus ago. They caught him in McDonald's in Pennsylvania, right? Somewhere. McDonald's, the Arches. And what officer, a rookie officer caught Ouija, whatever his name is. What was the name of the police officer? The name of the police officer, his name was Fry. Give me a break. They playing with us. They playing with us. Officer Fry caught the guy. Come on, man. They playing with us. I hope you learned something. God bless you. I got to go. Understand, God loves you. He going to give you the revelation. He don't want you to fear. God didn't give you the spirit of fear. Now, what about the Super Bowl? How does it fit? 2/14 of 2027 is the Super Bowl. Here's the deal. When you go, when the players come out onto the field, whether it's soccer, which is coming up on June 11th, the FIFA Cup, whether it's soccer, because they call that football, or the Super Bowl, they come through an arch. Do they not? They come through a tunnel, an arch. An arch. This is why this 2/14 is coming up. They're telling you something coming. Something's coming. But you're going to be ready. God bless you.